Last autumn, I began my journey to complete my latest legacy challenge in The Sims 3. The aim of my first generation in this challenge is to give Lolita Goth the life she deserves, and it's going well so far. If you don't know who Lolita is, her remains can be found in the Goth family graveyard in Sunset Valley. What happened to her has remained a mystery, but I've revived her, moved her to Monte Vista, and now she's been on plenty of adventures and started a family, with Monte Vista being my favourite Sims 3 world and World Adventures being my favourite expansion. My secondary aim of this first generation is to really establish this save as my cozy virtual comfort blanket. If you haven't seen the previous episodes, I've linked the playlist above, but for a super quick recap on where I left off in the previous episode, I had recently moved Lolita and her new wife, Florence, into a bigger home, and we just welcomed the first member of Generation 2, little Bella Goth. My main aim with Bella is to make lots of connections to the Bella which we find in Sunset Valley, and to her character as she progresses her life across the later games, sans the going missing part, hopefully. Lolita was working away on her writing skill, and Florence was climbing up the culinary corporate ladder. I left you guys with the question of, should I have another child or leave Bella as our sole heir? I'll swing back round to the outcome of that later, as well as asking for even more of your thoughts and ideas, because I'm so indecisive when it comes to my Sims sometimes. But I want to quickly talk about where this series disappeared to in the last 4-ish months, because I know that a lot of you guys were really enjoying these updates. Annoyingly, The Sims 3, Sims 3'd, and Life Lifed at the same time. After trying to de-bloat this save using the Regal save cleaner, I started getting a lot of crashing, especially when I was filming at the same time, which really dissuaded me from playing, unfortunately, because it was just such an annoying process. After unpicking that problem, the time that I had to play The Sims 3 was taken up by having to apply for real adult jobs, which sucks, and having to up my shifts at my bar job. But The Sims 3's siren song finally called me back, and I decided to avoid filming to prevent crashing as much as I could. I just wanted to play the game, which means that this episode might feel a bit like I'm telling rather than showing in places, so bear with me. I've made a lot of progress though, so let's start with our main queen, icon, mother, legend, Lolita. I've been on a lot of really long solo trips with her, as a primary goal of mine was to hit visa level 3 in at least one destination world from the World Adventures pack. After one trip to China, I was able to find enough relics to complete her lifetime wish of owning a private museum, so she's rolling in lifetime reward points right now. You'll notice that a lot of these treasures are on display around the house too. I believe it was on this trip that I also finally found Pangu's axe, which has been great for actually completing tombs entirely and opening up areas of the map that I couldn't access before. Because I've been traveling so much with Lolita, I'm super excited to say that I've not only hit visa level 3 in one world, but all 3 of them. Because hitting level 3 means that you're able to purchase property in destination worlds, I've sunk a hefty chunk of the family cash into buying holiday homes in France and China. I'll definitely be getting one in Egypt soon. I just want to save up a bit more cash before committing to one. I've also made a lot of progress with Lolita's writing. She's mastered the writing skill and completed all the skill challenges for it, I believe, as I mainly did this by blasting through sports books, which are all themed around her martial arts endeavors. I'm still working to get her specializing in romance novels, which is my ultimate goal. I'm also chipping away at the writer work from home career with Lolita. As I mentioned in the last episode, it's a lot of work to progress through this, as your weekly royalties don't count towards promotion funds. Given how much one-on-one time I've spent with Lolita during her travels, I've managed to make a lot of progress towards her mastering the neck making, photography, and martial arts skills too. Because it can come in handy with her tomb explorations, Lolita has mastered martial arts and completed some of the skill quests as well, so now whenever she breaks open space rocks, sometimes rare gems will spawn near her, which is quite cool. During her most recent trip to France, I was able to find a really sick cave using Pangu's axe, which is filled with life fruits, flame fruits, money trees, and the rarest grapes, which I don't think I've ever got in this game before. The rare plants also make great photography leveling fodder as well. On the last day of this trip, which I got back from a day or so ago in game, I was filming a day in the life short, which should be coming out soon, and I went a bit crazy and I found a new addition to the family. But before I reveal who that is, I just wanted to remind you guys to like the video if you're enjoying the update so far. Liking and watching till the end tells YouTube's algorithms that my videos are worth showing to more people, so it's always appreciated. But with my little spiel all over. Everybody can now meet little Honey. Our French neighbors, the Morels, had some pets up for adoption, so I went to visit, and here I realized that I don't think I've ever had a cat in The Sims 3, which is so funny because I am a cat girly in real life. I was a little bit hesitant to get her at first, as we do have some werewolves in the household, but I'm also interested to see how they all interact over time. Honey is still a kitten right now, and that was the name that the game gave her. I don't know what it was about her. She was just rolling around on the mat, and I just melted, okay? So we have a cat now. Florence, Lolita's wife, has really been trucking away. She's mastered the cooking skill and isn't far off reaching the top of the cooking career. I've had her go ham on the garden for a really long time. She had this opportunity where I needed to grow some high quality Melois grapes for a job performance boost at work, and it took me so long to complete, but it was also equally as satisfying when I finally got it done. It's really given me a better insight into how to navigate the gardening skill in The Sims 3 because it can be quite challenging. I've had Florence also do a little bit of nectar making on the side, but honestly, managing the garden takes up the majority of her time nowadays when she isn't at work. If you've got any suggestions for other hobbies that I could give her, I'm all ears. Other than that, at the end of the last episode, I asked you guys again whether or not I should have Lolita and Florence try for a second baby, and she kind of made that decision for me because she quickly got the want to have another child, so I just couldn't say no. You guys know how it is with The Sims. She had another girl, so let me introduce you to our second new addition. So this is Stella. I named her after I read this great comment left by a lovely viewer called Noldal Sims. A few of you guys did suggest that I make a spare child just in case anything happened to Bella, who I'll be filling you in on in a little bit. Stella is already a teen now. I did admittedly rush through everything a little bit with her as I was really wanting to see some more progress with this legacy, but she's fairly recently a teen. Like Florence and Bella, she's a werewolf, and she has a really interesting melange of traits. She's absent-minded, easily impressed like Florence, athletic, and brave. It's interesting because I feel like she's way more like Florence in her personality, but that she looks so like Lolita. I feel like Stella is going to be quite an interesting sim to play with because I get the sense that she might not be the smartest sim, but that she's just got this heart of gold. Because of that, I don't really know what career to have her go into. I feel like the athletic career is a natural fit, but I was also thinking about making her a lifeguard from the Island Paradise pack, or even have her go into the firefighter career from Ambitions, as I've not really done either of those before. Other than that, the one thing I do really want to have her work on is mastering her hidden lycanthropy skill or werewolf abilities, because I've never really had a sim in this household lean into that fully quite yet. Let's move on to Stella's big sister Bella though, because wow, these two really are polar opposites for the most part. Bella is also a teen now and has the brave, good, genius, and lucky traits. Off the bat, she looks clearly way more like Florence too. I've had Bella work a lot on her logic skill, and I've decided that as the main sim of Gen 2, I'm gonna have her focus on all things into the future, because despite owning that pack for well over a year, maybe actually two, I've never really played with it. I know in the last episode I mentioned that I was thinking about having her dive more into the film career side of things, but as I want this Bella to mirror the story of the quote-unquote real Bella Goth in Sunset Valley, focusing on all things a little bit alien and futuristic feels very true to her, considering how the real Bella's grave can be found over in Luna Lakes. This path was also really inspired by the fact that, again, Bella was really leaning into the logic skill because I knew that I wanted her to turn her imaginary friend real. So let me introduce you to the third and final new sim for this episode, Flora, formerly Fluffs, Bella's imaginary friend. As you can see, I've already turned Flora real. Bella got the opportunity to bring a rainbow gem to the science center to get the metamorphium potion, which allowed her to do this, which was really cool. On becoming real, imaginary friends get random traits, I believe, so her original ones were very interesting. She was a sailor, vehicle enthusiast, and computer whiz. I did change these to excitable, friendly, and loves the outdoors, and she got the night owl trait when she became a teen. I'll say now that I'll likely mess around with her traits a little bit more in the future after I've decided what to do with her. When she turned human, she had this amazing pink and black hair, which I've kept, and she had these fully black eyes, which were a little bit creepy, so I've lightened them to be this kind of moody grey colour. Now, I'm also really excited to say that Bella and Flora went to prom together, and they came back as romantic interests. I was so happy to see this. I love playing out this imaginary best friend to soulmates storyline in The Sims 3, energy. So I think that this will be the way that I go with these Sims from now on. Otherwise, I'd really love some ideas on what to do with Flora, as I'm a tiny bit stumped. I'm considering either having her go down the political career and kind of maybe in a way collaborating with Bella to kind of bring about the utopian future, but I'm also thinking about bringing back her computer whiz trait and having her hack into bad guys' computers and working to become a forensic analyst in the law enforcement career. I feel like I've never really had a Sim do either of those things, but I don't know, let me know what you guys think. So that's everything that I have to update you guys on today. I'm intending for the next update to be the more quote-unquote official start of Gen 2, where I've wrapped up everything that I wanted to do with Lolita and Florence and have got my goals for Bella, Stella and Flora lined up. Again, please do let me know what you think I should do with our lovely Gen 2 Sims. I really love reading all of your comments on this series, so thank you so much again to everyone that's been supporting it so far. With that said, I hope that you guys are having a lovely day and I'll see you again soon.